G'day ladies and gentlemen, Duckville here. Welcome to a Protoss vs Terran. It's going to be on New Code Precinct TE. This is a ladder game that was submitted to Kvassten, one of the subreddits where people can post their own little replays if you want to see it get casted. Of course, if if anyone has their own replays that you would like to see casted by me, or perhaps we could do some analysis in an upcoming stream session that I'm going to be having where we'll be looking over replays and those kinds of things. You can always send them in to me as well. So that's over at duckvillelol@gmail.com. Anyway, let's talk about our players here in this. This should be a really interesting matchup between these two, apparently, according to the thread where it was posted. This is a kind of shorter game, but a very exciting one with a couple of big battles happening here. But anyway, down at the bottom left-hand side is our red Protoss player, who goes by the name of Arnovic. Now, this is on the NA ladder, I believe. So these two players playing over there, it is High Masters, I believe, and over on the bottom right-hand side is our blue Terran player from Clan SQL. It is Kvassten. So Kvassten is going to be opening us up with a standard sort of play. One of the racks coming out, probably get a gas coming out straight away as well to get a Reaper going. There it is. All right. So yeah, this is just a standard kind of play here in PvP these days. A lot of people will pick up that the racks then go straight into the gas to get a single Reaper out. Sometimes some people may go for a little bit of gas and then a reactor and then get double Reapers out. This is something which doesn't happen too often, but it is something you do need to keep in mind as a Protoss player. You need to be aware that there could be kind of cheesy things coming across. Meanwhile, for Arnovic, he's going to be setting up a what looks to be, yeah, we haven't actually had the second gas, so it looks like it is just going to be a simple one gate, one gas expansion here from our Protoss player. He's going to set up that cyber core shortly after. So this kind of build is very stable. It's very safe in the fact that it does allow you to get that Zealot started up relatively quickly if you'd like to send him down towards the natural to make sure that there is no blockage or anything like that. Some kind of eBay block which may occur can be quite frustrating to deal with, but it does also give you the ability to get your expansion going and also make sure that you have some gas to get things like your warp gate tech started. You should be able to get your mothership core out as well, but those sorts of things are all very nice and handy to have. So Kvassten has gotten that Reaper out, going to go up to the one reactor straight up as well. Does have an SCV scouting, so he does know that there is going to be just the one gas, and that is all from his opponent. So there will be no mothership. Arnovic, what's going on, my friend? Are you going to start that mothership core? There it is, and also the cyber core as well will get started on the warp gate tech. So just a tiny bit slow on getting some of those things out, but not to worry, it's no biggie. We'll see how he wants to move into the mid-game if we do get to that point. The mothership core has now popped out. We'll head across and look to protect this natural expansion as the second gas goes down. Stalker on the way. Reaper is finally going to make its way across the map. As we can see, this guy is going to jump inside. Nice little pathway up there. Mothership core gets a couple of shots here. We don't see any available chrono booster. Well, there is actually a little bit of chrono boost available to get that stalker out faster if you want it, but you don't necessarily have to. It's a good probe micro. You should be able to keep most of the probes alive. I do see very much at a much higher level, people are getting very, very good at keeping workers alive against harassing Reapers. But this Reaper will get away. He did get one kill, so that's not too bad. That's definitely worth it for him because he has gotten out, he's gotten inside, got to scout out that the gas was both operational, and does know that his opponent will be sort of looking to play a very safe sort of standard game. There's no 4 gates, there's no crazy 5 gate, no fast Stargate to get an Oracle out or anything like that, so he doesn't need to throw down a turret just yet. He doesn't really need to go hardcore on setting up a bunch of bunkers if he was to deal with a 4 gate or anything like that. It is all just very, all standard stuff here from our Protoss player so far. So he may even get another kill here. Kvassten coming across. Unfortunately, the micro of Arnovic a little bit lackluster there. Was almost lost another probe, but the Reaper does escape. Very nicely done there by Kvassten, able to keep that Reaper alive for the time being. Extra racks now going up inside the main factory as well. We can see the Marines have been constantly coming out of that reacted factory. The second refiner is going to get started. This second gas allows us to move into medevacs, and that is obviously a very good addition to the Terran army, is being able to add in some healing so that when the tech lab that is going to be built here gets stim operational, you'll be able to heal up those Marines and Marauders as need be. So At the moment, we are looking at what is probably going to be a pretty standard sort of 10 to 11 minute timing coming out of Kvassten. He does have +1 to weapons researching. Stim should get started straight away here if he needs to get that going as soon as he can. A reactor and a starport will probably go down next as well. There's the Stim, finally does get that started, and the Marine count will still continue to climb, but so far, Kvassten is looking pretty standard at the moment. Meanwhile, for Arnovic, he's done something a little bit different. You don't always see it go in this particular direction. Double forges straight up without any robo facility. No robo facility to get an observer out, to get any observers to make sure that you can check out if there are widow mines or anything like that. So he's going to have to be very careful and very diligent with the protection of his borders. Of course, if he lets a medevac in and the mines get into place, then there is actually no way to detect that the mines are around and about. What you would normally see, and what I think Arnovic may have been thinking about, was throwing down a cannon inside one of the mineral lines. You can just put a cannon down somewhere like here, or maybe closer to the middle or something like that, that will protect your mineral line from the widow mines. Of course, if you see the medevac dropping in, you can get the probes out, the cannon will kill off the mine, and then you're all hunky-dory. But he hasn't actually gone for that just as of yet. He did just scout through with a hallucinated Phoenix, was able to scout out that there was a decent amount of rigmarole going on inside the main Terran base. So we can see that there are 2 medevacs about to pop out, and this will signal the time that our Terran player is starting to move out. And yeah, there he is. He's off on his way, journeying across Nuco Precinct, across the top of the buildings that for some reason have minerals and gas on the top of the building. But anyway, he's going to march across. The +1 to weapons is done. Of course, Stim, we're looking to finish, to get this attack started just as Stim finishes up. This is when you normally want to push in here, and that is what most people will go for. Meanwhile, for Arnovic, he has wonderful upgrades here. 1-1 on these, on all of these ground forces, but is it enough to deal with a large contingent of Marines and Marauders with medevac support? This is a big question here of not playing into a robo style and looking to go straight into a Templar Archive style. But here we go. The battle is about to occur here down at the Natural. No force fields on the ramp there, so the Marines were free to walk up in the Planetary Fortress a little bit later, unfortunately for Arnovic, but he does look to try and get these units inside. Planetary Nexus Cannon of Doom is going to do some work here, but unfortunately I don't know if this is enough. The Marines and Marauders have just shredded up the remaining ground forces there, and it looks like he's going to try and target down the Nexus. Is he just going to simply... Yeah, wow, that's a really cool micro there from Kvassten to pick up the Marines that were being targeted down, and it looks like the Nexus, will it fall down? I don't think it is going to. The last Marauder fires off a final shot. 8 health left over on this Nexus. 8 health. And that could have been game right there. Like, I mean, obviously, Kvassten would have needed to rebuild his forces and rally another big force together. But that was a pretty big moment there in this game that Kvassten, unfortunately, just not able to finish off that Nexus. 8 health left over. Gonna regen its shields now. But I mean, wow, that was a really unlucky position for Kvassten, but very lucky for Arnovic. But now he has 2-2 on his upgrades. This is going to be a very, very powerful force of Protoss units here with Archons, Zealots, and he is, as we said before, looking to move into this style of a very quick Templar tech that has been making the rounds in the pro scene. A lot of people, such as Flying and Trap and Harding, have been using a very gateway-centric, screw the Colossus, we're going to go straight for Archons and Templar and these kinds of things. This kind of style that has been very, very strong here. And as you can see, Kvassten is making his way across the map. Lots of gateways building back at home. I think that we can see that these medevacs are going to drop inside. They will be able to get a little bit of damage done. The forces of Arnovic are a little bit too far away. As we can see, they have to make all their way around it to get there into the main base. The Planetary Nexus Cannon is activated, going to try and fire down on some of these Marines and Marauders that are just in range, but the rest of them do fall out. Going to abandon ship there. The medevac's diving out, just wanting to save some of those Marines to fight another day. Of course, those kinds of drops can be quite pesky later on when you aren't looking to move out on the map as a Protoss. So Arnovic is being very careful, setting down a couple of cannons to make sure that he does have a little bit of protection inside his main base. The medevacs just sort of wandering around, trying to find a good position to drop into. They cannot go just yet because the the Nexus cannon is activated. But meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we can see now that Arnovic is making his way forward. Lots of Zealots and lots of Archons as well. I totally forgot what they were called. Archons and Zealots making their way forwards 2-2. Keep in mind, these guys are ridiculously powerful, and they just shred everything up here at the attempted third base of Kvassten. Meanwhile, back inside Arnovic's base, his units have been torn to shreds by this small drop of Marines and Marauders, or just Marines I should say, targeting down that Nexus. This time, this Nexus is going to go down. Will he be able to get the second one? We'll find out very soon. Arnovic now pushing inside the main base. Lots of SCVs coming out to try and protect, but charge and 2-2 on all of these units here is going to make this a very tough ask for those SCVs to be able to save the day. It looks like they're not able to keep the bunker alive, and the remaining forces of Kvassten are torn apart. It looks like he is basically down to nothing inside his natural base. Meanwhile, the natural of... oh wow, the photon cannon shot down the medevac before it was able to unload the rest of the forces, and now Arnovic is going to be able to secure this game. He is able to warp in a couple more units, kill off the remaining Marines, and despite losing his main Nexus and almost losing this hero Nexus that is still on 8 health, he looks to win this game right now. Archons and Charge Bots inside the main base. Very close game between these two. But as you can see, that very risky. It's a high risk, high reward kind of style there, the very fast Templar play, especially when you go for very quick +2 upgrades. So really interesting game between those two. A little bit of back and forth right at the start, but in the end, Arnovic was able to take the victory. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you send in your own replays to duckvillall@gmail.com. Make sure you hop onto facebook.com/duckville.casting as well. Say hi and, you know, post on all things about esports that I'm talking about as well. Thanks for watching. Catch you all next time. +1 to weapons, armor, charge is just about to finish. All these lovely things all about to come out here from Bales. And Jon Snow is in a world of pain right now. Some lings are going to pop out. The sentry's in a little bit of trouble. Jumps them up into the wall prison, but drops them back